Okay, so number 3 is a triangle. So how do we find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. What could we use for the base and the height?
9.6 yards times 33.2.
Right, 3.2 is the height, the line that goes straight up from the base. 9.6 times 3.2 divided by 2. Number 5 is a parallelogram. How do we find the height of parallelograms? Base times height. The base is 10.9. The height is 8.5. Oopsie. Okay. Number 7 is a what?
Trapezoid.
Trapezoid. How do we find the area of a trapezoid?
Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times height.
Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. What are the bases on number 7?
8.9 and 3.7.
Right. The bases are the parallel segments, 3.7. So we add those together, divided by 2, and then multiply by the height. What's the height of the trapezoid? 4.9. So that's what you plug in. Okay, on 9 it says find circumference and area. I do want to do both of those. So how do we find circumference?
Diameter times pi.
Diameter times pi. What's the diameter on number 9?
10.
10. So we need to do 10 times pi. It does say in the directions to round your answer to the 10th place, which means they want the decimal version. So let's go ahead and do the decimal version today. You probably have a pi button on your calculator, or you can just use 3.14. So 3.14 times 10 just moves the decimal. Just moves the decimal one. Okay, that is the circumference. Diameter times pi, or 2 times the radius times pi. So how do we find area though? Pi r squared. So if the diameter is 10, what is the radius?
5.
5. So we need to do 5 squared, radius squared, times pi, or times 3.14.
8.5.
Since this is an area, it would be labeled inches squared.
Mr. Jordan, for number 7 and 8, will we be able to find the perimeter?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I said you don't have to.
Oh, we don't have to for any of them?
On any of them?
No.
I know, I already did some.
I was
The
wondering how you could be
perimeter.
so fast. It's my time, I did too.
Oh, that would be really hard to find the perimeter on 7. Yes, you could. It could be done, yes.
On 7 it could?
And yeah. It involved using Pythagorean theorem twice, though.
Oh. No.
You'd have to draw on a dotted line to cut off the left side.
We have to do that.
No.
Do you have to find the circumference of the... Yeah, yeah.
On number 5, we have to find that triangle, like it's plus that triangle.
No. They drew that dotted line in there to help you see what the height would be.
So for perimeter,
We're not doing perimeter. Okay, number 11. Use to solve for the missing measurement. That's like the 3rd or 4th time I've said that.
Easton, you're dumb. Love you.
I just had to retell you like a minute ago.
I thought you were talking about the next page.
No, you said something really weird about the perimeter the first time, and then I was asking about
I said we're not doing it, if that's really weird. Okay, number 11.
I heard it, but I thought it was only on the odds, and we had to do it on.
Why would I not do it on? Okay, anyways, number
I don't know.
11, a rectangle has a length of 432 millimeters and an area of 6. Okay. So, what's the area formula for rectangle?
Length times height or.
Length times width. Usually they use length and width or base and height, but it doesn't really matter what words or letters you use. It's just those two multiply to get the area. So if we know the area is 657,000, what was it, 4,504, and we know that the length is 432, how would we find the width?
Divide by 432.
Divide, yes.
Ew.
It's 12 hard. Trapezoid is an area, is at height. Top line is 6. The top, they should have said the top base is 6. What is the length of the other base? I'll help you guys set this one up. So, on 12, it's talking about a trapezoid area. So, what's the formula for trapezoid areas?
Base 1 is 2, divided by 2 times height.
Equals the area. Okay, so what they give us is the area. It's 150 square meters, and then it says the height of the top line is, or the height is 10, so that's going to go for H. The top line, which I mean like one of the bases, is 6. So I'm just going to say base 1 is 6. So how do I solve that for base 2?
Well,
You can cancel the
divide
2
by
and
10.
6, so it'd be 3.
No,
Times
you
2.
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
Because both these are divided by 2, you can't just...
Well, divide the whole thing by 10.
Okay, to get rid of the multiply 10, you could divide by 10.
Yeah, and then you get 15.
And then divide by, to multiply by 2.
Whoops.
Yeah, then multiply by 2. And then you subtract 6.
Okay, yeah, to get rid of a divide by 2, you would multiply by 2.
And then you get the.
And you have to plug that back in? No.
No.
Okay, and then the other page is special triangles.
No.
What we probably need the most practice on, right?
Yeah, I know.
So, what's the ratio of the sides of a 45, 45, 90?
1 is square root of 2.
You have to have that memorized also. What's the ratio of the sides of a 30, 60, 90? 1 is the short side, 2 is the longest, hypotenuse. Square root of 3 is the middle.
Oh, terrible.
Okay. On number 1, it looks like this, and we gotta find the missing sides.
Easy.
Okay, so 2 square root of 2 is a leg. So what's the other leg have to be on a 45, 45, 90? Same thing, 2 square root of 2. So they call that B, and this one A. So B is also going to be 2 square root of 2. Okay. So 2 square root of 2 is a leg. A is the hypotenuse. How do we go from a leg to a hypotenuse on
Times
this?
2
Times square root of 2. Square root of 2 times bigger. So 2 square root of 2 times square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2 times 2 is 4. Alright, is this making sense?
Yep.
For 2 people? Okay, so if you're going from the leg to the hypotenuse on a 45, 45, 90, you multiply by square root of 2. If you're getting smaller, you're going from hypotenuse to a leg, you divide by square root of 2. And the legs are always identical. Okay, so on number 3, we're starting with the leg again, so it's gonna be very similar. 3 square root of 2 over 2 is the leg. So if this leg is 3 square root of 2 over 2, this leg will be
3 square root of 2 over 2.
same thing, yes. Okay, how do we go from the leg, a leg, to the hypotenuse?
Multiply by square root.
Multiply by square root of 2.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do this on your calculator, but when you multiply by square root of 2, what's going to happen? It's like this. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2.
2 times
Square root of 4 is 2.
6.
Times 3 is 6. Divided by 2
3.
is 3.
Do you have a class after us?
Yeah.
Are we allowed in history?
When's history? After this?
Yeah, after this.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, good.
Our class?
We're really allowed.
I don't think my 5th hour class is loud, so if I don't hear you, must not be that loud. Oh, wait. Wait, what prim are we on?
Oh, we're doing.
Okay, so 5, what's different about 5?
Or start
Hypotenuse.
Starting with the hypotenuse. So how do we go from the hypotenuse to a
Divide by
leg?
square root.
Divide by square root of 2. If you have a decent calculator, you can do it, but by hand, to get, you can't leave the square root on the bottom. You multiply top and bottom by square root of 2. You get 6 square root of 2 over 2, which reduces to 3 square root of 2. Okay, if one leg is 3 square root of 2,
the other one.
the other one is 3 square root of 2.
Oh, I love those.
I feel like if I were to go do like a normal division problem now and try and write the division sign, I would like write the little square root with it. 'Cause I've
Yeah.
written it. so-
I have students who do that. And I tell them and then they still do it wrong. Okay, so number 7. Yeah, it's been a long time since you've written the division.
I know, it feels
Box.
weird now just to
I hate
just
the
do
division
the
box.
L.
Okay, so what changed on number 7?
It's a 60, 30, 30. Yeah.
Okay, so that's this one, right? 1, 2, square root of 3. So what does it look like? So it's kind of like flipped over and lying down on its face, so it's switched all around. 16 is the what side? Hypotenuse. So I don't know if you guys remember me telling you, but you want to run everything through the short leg.
Yeah.
So how do we go from the hypotenuse to the short leg?
Divide by 2.
Hypotenuse to the short leg, yeah. 2 to 1 means this should be twice as big as that.
So that's
So you divide by 2 and you get 8, which is their y value. So y is
just 8.
8.
And then X.
So how do you go from the short leg, no, this is a different triangle. How do you go from the short leg to the long leg?
Multiply by square root of 3.
Right, from here to here, it's going to square root of 3 times bigger. So 8 times square root of 3 does not simplify well, so the answer is 8 square root of 3.
Why'd you put y on top and x?
Because I did y first, of course.
Like you
Well, but it's x, y.
just put an equal sign.
Alright. I think, well, most of these are 30, 60, 90s except for 13 and 18, I guess. They threw it a little bit out of order just to make you remember, maybe. So this time we are starting with the short leg. So we don't have to run through the short leg, we're starting with it. How do we go from the short leg to the hypotenuse?
Times 2.
Times 2. So U would be 16.
Wasn't this the exact same?
How do we go from the short leg to the long leg?
Square root
Times
of 3. So it's 8
Yeah, short leg to long leg is times square root of 3. So it's 8. From here to here is square times square root of 3. So it's 8 square root of 3. Yeah, it's the same triangle as the last problem. Okay, 11, 5 squared root of 3xy. This almost looks like the original drawing. Just turned around backwards. Pretty close looking. Okay, so 5 squared root of 3 is the what side?
The square root side.
It's the, yeah, it's the long leg. So how do we go from the long leg to the short leg?
Divide by square root of 3.
Right, divide by square root of 3. In this case, that would just eliminate the square root of 3's. So y is 5. Okay, if the short leg is 5, how do we find the hypotenuse? Times 2, twice as big. So yeah, it's 10. See, it's not so bad, is it? We just need some practice.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
And I know the ACT, or at least they used to, unless they changed, they like to throw these on. They like to throw some of these on there. And sometimes you can do like Pythagorean theorem. You don't have to know special triangles usually, but if you do know the special triangles, you can get the answer like that. And you know the ACT is like a time test, so it kind of matters.
Do we take the ACT prep thingy this year? Like we did last year? We took it for 1.
Well, we took a standardized test after fall break, so I don't think
We
we
did?
PSAT. We took the SAT, PSAT.
We took the PSAT after. Jeez, that was like last year.
It was like 3 or 4 months ago. We tried to do it right before fall break and it failed. Then we did it like the week after fall break.
Yeah, we were gonna do it the day before fall break, so we all basically got like an extra like first 3 hours of the day off. Cause nobody had plans.
Oh, I still
Really,
did stuff.
besides that stupid Mario.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Mario.
remember that.
The legend of Mario still lives on. Okay.
Bro had the most devious laugh.
They had nothing for us. I'm always prepared.
No kidding. You whipped it out of nowhere. I'm like, what?
Bro, you know what this reminded me of? You know how in Bible, the first day back, Paxton goes, dude, if you watch the ball drop, you can watch 2 guys aggressively making out. Do you remember that, bro?
That was so crazy. So crazy. And that you remember that. That's good.
Bro, I looked it up on the official thing.
Oh,
So I was like, oh no, I was like, no way. I was like, no way. And it wasn't there, bro. Like, on the official, like, news or whatever, they must have cut it out, bro. I was like, nah.
Okay, on number 9, this side that they give us is the what? Hypotenuse. How do we go from the hypotenuse to a leg on a 45, 45, 90?
You divide square root of 2, so they're both
Yes.
8. I love that. Methamphetamine.
They say math or math.
Methamphetamine is like my favorite.
I'm gonna have to report you if you said math. Number, okay, that was 11 actually. Did I skip 9? What happened? Didn't label it. That was 11.
That was 13. That was right, 13.
Oh.
That was
I haven't labeled all of these. Okay, 15. Okay,
It's basically.
so we're back to a 60, 30, 90. So we're starting off with the hypotenuse. Where do I need to go from here?
Divide by two.
Short leg. How do I go to the short leg?
1.5.
Divide by 2. Yeah, you could do. The book usually likes fractions, but if you put 1.5, it's fine. I'm just gonna call it 3/2. Okay. How do we go from the short leg to
Square root of 3. So
multiply by square root of 3?
3.5 square root of 3.
So what the book probably did was like this. So it's 3 square root of 3 over 2. If you put 1.5 square root of 3, that would be the same thing. That'd be okay. $17. Last odd. Okay, so we're starting with the hypotenuse. Where do we need to go from here?
The short leg.
Short leg. How do we go from hypotenuse to short leg on
Divided
thing?
by square root of 3.
No.
It's a 30, 60, 90.
It's divide by two.
Right, from hypotenuse
Oh.
to short leg is twice as big. So divide by 2, that 2 would cancel out. This would just be square root of 2. That's the B value.
Brains got rocked.
Okay, how do we go from the short leg to the long leg?
Times square root of 3.
Times square root of 3. Square root of 2 times square root of 3 is square root of 6, yes.
Parallelogram based on side.
Yes. That nifty little sheet I gave you.
Oh, yeah.
They use like L times H, which
Wait,
is
so
an
on the
odd
circle
combo.
ones, we have to find circumference and area.
Yeah, on that one. Two answers on number 10.
It's been a